Guy comes running into my room in the barracks and tells me one of the Twin Towers gets hit. They're like, we're probably going to have to go to war. Hearing them, because, we could write letters and stuff like that, they telling me so-and-so got killed. The fact that I already knew people that died from my old company in Colorado, I'm like, this is real. This is not a game. So, yeah, I was nervous, but like I said, we signed the dotted line, and we was going to go there regardless and do what we have to do. And this dude just steals on me.
Oh, shit.
Knocks me on the ground. We just start fighting. Bro, I jumped off the truck with my M16. I pointed dead at them. I tell them, if y'all don't leave, I'm going to
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Unheard Minds. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And in today's episode, we have a very special guest. He is a proud U.S. Army veteran, born in Connecticut, raised in both New York and Connecticut, now behavior specialist and CrossFit enthusiast. Let's clap it up for Jared.
Welcome, bro.
Hey,
glad to have you on the set, man.
I'm glad to be here. I appreciate y'all having me here.
Nah, man. Oh, first, before anything, thank you for your service.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hats off to you and everybody out there who served the country, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
And that's something we definitely want to dive into for sure. But first and foremost, do you want to introduce yourself to the people?
Yeah, my name is Jared Carey. I'm currently living in Missouri City, Texas. I grew up in Connecticut and New York, kind of like on the border. So if you want to compare it to Houston, it's like Missouri City / Houston, like right on the border. So right. I'm going to school in New York. I'm living in Connecticut. I'm living in New York. I'm going to school. So I'm back and forth.
Yeah.
And then, that's pretty much, where I was born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long were you living down there, or when did you come to Houston? If that was your next spot.
So I came to Houston after I got out the military. So I left there when I was 19 and went into the military. And then I got to Houston when I was about 30 years old.
Oh.
And I've been here for 12 years.
So from I'm not sure if I caught on to it or not, but you said you were born in
Connecticut.
Okay.
Greenwich, Connecticut.
Okay.
To be exact. Yes.
And
it borders a city called Port Chester, New York.
Okay.
Like literally walking distance.
Okay.
So there we go.
Now, as a kid though, you spent most of the time in New York or in Connecticut?
In Connecticut, but I'm going to school in New York.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm sure it's like within walking distance or bus ride distance or something.
Literally like Stafford, Missouri City.
Okay.
Sugarland. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so it's maybe a road or whatever away.
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
But how does that work? I didn't know you could go to a school in a different state. You know.
Well, my parents sent me to private school because they wanted me not to be in school with my friends, and then that later changed because I ended up going back to public school, and then that's why I found myself ended up in the military. I probably should have stayed in private school because I was doing really good there, but when I went back to school with my friends, that's when it kind of went downhill because I wasn't a bad kid, but I was like the class clown and the slacker kid, like that type of kid. And I was always trying to rap, and hip hop was a big part of my life growing up.
So growing up, bro, how was your kid life and how did that go about?
My upbringing was great, man. I lived in housing, but my parents were like a middle class family, so they both had regular jobs. Like my mom worked at a library, my dad worked for the town hall, and they had to work their way up from like the bottom up, like no degree or anything like that. They just got their position in the company by just working through.
Putting in that work, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I felt like I never needed for nothing like that. I didn't grow up poor or anything like that, but I grew up in housing where there's other families that live in these same apartment complexes that grew up poor, but we're all kids hanging together. So in a nutshell, that's basically how I grew up. My dad was really strict. My mom was really strict. And that's why I feel like even though I got arrested a few times in my life, but I never took it to the extent of where I'm in jail doing prison time or anything like that.
Right.
So I would say I had good parents, but since they were so strict, it made me rebel against things. So that's what got me in some trouble sometimes,
Oh, okay.
You're an only child, or?
Nah, I got 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
Nice.
All right. Oh, so one main question that I have, because I don't know that many people from New York personally, or Connecticut on that side. What was the major difference that you would say from Houston to on the east side?
Oh man, just the prices of everything, cost of living. So my ex is from A-Leaf, Houston, Texas. And I always tell people when they say, what brought you to Texas? I say, all my exes live in Texas. That was my ex-wife. And yeah, that's basically what brought me to Texas, and the cost of living. So when I got here, I was staying at my ex's dad's house, and we was there for about 6 months. I'm paying rent there, but as a man, you don't want to live in another man's house. So, but we were staying there because, you know, I just moved out there, so we had to find a place to live that was affordable, and we had to save money to, you know, buy a house. So within 6 months, I'm telling my ex, like, hey, we got to get this house, or we got to move to an apartment, because I can't stay here living with your dad. It was cool. They treated me like family and everything, but as a man, you know, I wanted to have my own.
Yeah, so, you wanted to own your own
and that
space.
Next month, I got the keys to my house, and that's where I've been since 12 years. I consider myself a Texan now.
Hey, that was
Nice,
and
nice.
Love Houston, but I'm not a Texans fan. Shouts out to them because they just won this game. That's
Yeah.
big. My
Oh,
team
yeah.
is out, so since I'm here, I guess I will root for the Texans. I hope they do win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Nice for sure. So I guess going back to, you know, you as a kid and as a teenager, how was that like, and going to school, and how did you go about making decisions to move on to the next step as an adult?
Okay, so in school, like I said, I was a class clown. I was a guy that's gonna rap for everybody in the school. One of my friends kicking a beat, the whole school crowd around me, and I'm rapping, freestyling. That was me. Skipping class, you know, typical high school kid stuff. And then so that's what led me to wanting to go into the military, because I knew I wasn't prepared for college, but I knew that if you join the military, you can get money for college. So I was like, all right, well, I don't want to stay home after I graduate, and everybody's gonna think I'm a loser because I was a slacker kid. So I was like, you know what? The best thing for me is probably go to the military, get some college money when I get out, and then I could, you know, transition into being an adult and being mature and things like that. So that's what kind of like got me to join the Army.
How did your parents react to that decision? Is that something that they were pushing for you to do, or did you just kind of fall into it? And
Nah, they were definitely pushing for it. My dad was a Vietnam vet, so
okay,
you know, I got a military family background, and they knew I wasn't ready for college, and they knew that, you know, being in the military, you know, I would say that it's easy for somebody who doesn't know what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because they pay for your housing, they pay for your food, so it's not like you have to just go out there and get a job. You're gonna do a job while you're in the military, but everything is kind of like taken care of already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they felt comfortable letting me go.
okay,
And you were there for how long?
4.5 years.
wow.
4.5.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first signed in, and how was that like? I hear, I mean, I'm not sure how true this is, but you know, I hear that making that decision is, you know, even though people do want to go into the military, it's tough, man. Like making that full commitment. I mean, is that true to a certain degree, or?
Yeah, because I was nervous because people was telling me, yo, you're going to get brainwashed. You're going to be a robot when you get out. You're going to have a wild, funny style haircut and everything like that. So that part made me a little nervous, but I knew people that been through it. My cousin, he went there. So I'm like, if he could do it, I could do it. And I didn't feel like he changed, you know, so I felt like I can go in there and not be brainwashed, and, you know, but I was going to do my time honorably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as time wise, what year was that when?
Okay, so I joined January 2001. So January 2001, nothing's going on. 6 months later, fast forward, 9/11, my daughter's birthday, ironically.
Wow.
9/11 happens. I'm in Colorado, Fort Carson at this time. This is my first duty station. Guy comes running into my room in the barracks and tells me one of the Twin Towers gets hit. So I'm like, damn, motherfuckers can't fly? Like somebody crashed into the Twin Towers? This is what I'm thinking. This is my 21-year-old mentality at the time.
Yeah.
And then the same dude that told me that the Twin Tower got hit, he comes back running in again. Hey, another tower got hit. I'm like, bro, 2 motherfuckers can't fly. Excuse my language.
no,
But then he's like, idiot, it's a terrorist attack. It's a terrorist attack. And at the time, I'm like, what's a terrorist attack?
Yeah.
And then they're like, we're probably gonna have to go to war. So I'm like, damn, I didn't join the army to go to war. I said I would sign up and go to war if I had to, but I was literally going for college money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, this happens on my watch. Now I gotta go to war.
And you were 6 months into it, you said?
Yes, 6 months in. Just
Wow.
6 months in, yeah. And I'm 19 years old, or 20 years old at the time. And I'm nervous, but this is what happens. So everybody that is in Colorado, we're all getting deployed to go to Iraq, right? They tell me I got orders to go to Germany. Now, when I go to Germany, that's going to be my last duty station, meaning once I finish Germany, I'm gone. So I'm thinking I'm not going to war. The people that I was in Colorado with are going, right?
Yeah.
So this is what happened. I get sent to Germany. My people from Fort Carson, Colorado, all went to Iraq. So now I'm in Germany like, hey, I ain't go. You know, I'm kind of sad because, you know, I got friends over there that are over there. And yeah, I was trolling them like, haha, I get to go to Germany. But at the same time, I'm like, man, like, I hope they all make it back.
Yeah.
And being in Germany, hearing them, because, you know, we could write letters and stuff like that. They telling me so-and-so got killed. This person got killed. And these are people that, you know, I look up to. Like, if they tell me Captain, I'm going to say a name, Munoz got killed, and I looked at him as somebody that if I was out there with, I feel comfortable with, and they're telling me he got killed, that makes me nervous. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is what happens. They all come back from Iraq. Not everybody, but, you know, the company.
Yeah.
And then guess who has to replace them to go out there?
Oh, they give you
The people in Germany.
Wow.
So now they're telling me I'm going to Iraq. So now this time I'm nervous, you know what I'm saying? But
How did you go about taking that news, though? I mean, I'm sure it wasn't lightly, right? And it was a lot of emotions, or
not really.
or were you just ready to like go out there and be a part of that group, you know?
Yeah, because I felt like, you know what, the people that I was trolling already did it, and now it's my time to replace them. They needed a break, because if you stayed in the military, people was going back and forth to that war, because that war lasted like 10 years. So I was nervous, but I signed that dotted line saying I would go if anything happened, even though I was going for college money. So we had no choice. We're going. If you don't go, you're going to jail until the war is over.
How long were you in Germany before they gave you that call?
About a year.
Okay.
Damn, I didn't know that. So if you decide like not to go to war or something, they put you in jail
They would definitely put you in jail.
for as long as the war goes, or for a certain amount of time.
From what I believe, is for as long as the war goes.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, you can't just join the army and then when war pops out and just be like, hey, I'm not going.
Yeah.
So
Because it's basically a contract, right?
it's definitely a contract. So I signed up for 4 years, but it's really an 8-year contract. So basically you do 4 years and then 4 years you're inactive. So basically you're done, but for the 4 years after you're done, they could always call you back. But after the 8 years, then I'm fully done.
Oh, okay.
Then I'm just out the army, my contract's done, and then it's over.
Man.
And I passed that, so they can't call me back now unless, you know, somebody invades our country. And then if that happens, then, you know, I'm willing to go back
Yeah.
to defend,
If somebody invades our country, I'm willing to stand up, bro.
We're Americans,
Hey.
so you know how we get down.
Man, that's crazy. So whenever you went out to Germany, though, how did that feel, going from getting yourself mentally prepared and all that stuff to really going from the States to overseas?
Bro, at this time, I'm young. I'm just learning things for the first time. I'm ignorant, fresh out of high school, thinking that Germany is like Nazis. And I'm like, why are they sending me over there? Then I get over there and the German people love us. And it's not like they say, they're not racist. At least I didn't have no interactions like that. And I just had a blast out there. And it was amazing just to be in a whole new country. I got a German license out there. I drove on the Autobahn, which was crazy.
What's
Because
that?
the Autobahn is basically the highway out there and there's no speed limit.
Oh,
What?
Yeah. I'll put it to you
dope.
like this. I never in my life got in a fast lane in Germany because this car's just whipping past you fast. And they don't have a lot of accidents, but when they do, fatality.
Wow.
Pretty much. But everybody drives out there pretty good. Like, they just respect the laws of the road and everything like that. But it's not like America. You're getting a ticket for every little thing.
Yeah.
They have no speed limit out there, literally. Yeah.
And what was it like whenever you first arrived to Germany, and how'd you, what was your intake? And
It was cool because they put us in a little German Head Start program where we had to learn some German words and stuff like that. And once you completed the course, you would kind of conversational German. So I do know some words and stuff like that. I don't remember everything, but and then just the experience alone was amazing. So I love Germany. I definitely want to go back. I've never been back since, but I've been to a whole bunch of different countries other than that.
What part of Germany was it?
Schwenkfurt.
Schwenk.
Schwenkfurt. So if people get that confused with the capital of Germany, which is capital is Berlin, but people get it confused with Frankfurt because that's like a big city out there. But Schwenkfurt is the city I stayed in. Yeah.
Nice. So when you were out there in Germany, like, I'm sure you didn't go alone, and there was other guys going with you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And when you were over there, did you guys, I mean, obviously with everything barely happening, because of 9/11, did you guys, how was that like in the platoon or whatever the case was, and in the rooms, was everybody in fear? I mean, anxious? How was that like?
Man, yeah, a lot of people were definitely nervous and stuff, but once I knew my friends already had did it and we're going, we just had to accept it, and we're just working at that point. We're getting the trucks ready. We're preparing. We're going to the field. So the field is when you pretty much simulate a war, and you go out into like the woods or like a desert area, and you'll train for the actual war. And that's what we was doing. We was just getting prepared to go, and we knew we had to go. So yeah, you might be nervous, but hey, we was trained in boot camp to be killers. So we're ready to go, and we're ready to defend our country.
Nice. Well, much respect for that, man.
No, thanks.
How often would you get in touch with your parents?
Quite often. In Germany we had little cell phones. It was like Nokia phones. It wasn't no these smartphones and none of that. But we definitely had cell phones then. But we can call whenever we needed to, stuff like that.
Could you run us through your day to day when you were over there in Germany? Like, would y'all wake up like at 5 a.m. type shit, or what?
So my day to day in Germany was all right. So pretty much you wake up 5 a.m. You had PT at 6:30. So PT is basically like, for CrossFitters, it'll be a WOD. It's just your workout, your everyday workout, and you do that for about an hour. Go back to the barracks. That's the sleeping quarters where we all stayed, and you shower up and then you go to work. Pretty much, Army job is a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends you're free to do as you please. So we're in Germany going to clubs and stuff like that.
Oh, so they would let you guys go out?
Yeah,
oh,
definitely. Okay. They told us certain places not to go in Germany where there was people that were anti-American, and then there's people from all different countries in Germany. So there was a lot of Turkish people, and they told us to stay away from them because they like to attack Americans. I mean, but I met some Turkish people that were really cool. So
did you guys have any experiences like that out there?
Yeah. In the clubs, I went to a Turkish club with my friend, and once we walked in, it was like the music stopped. Everybody looked at us like, what are you guys doing here? But the reason why I felt safe is because they was having a rap battle. So I'm like, if they having a rap battle, it can't nobody really in here be racist. So yeah. I got on stage, and then I ended up winning the rap battle, and they all loved me in there. So whatever they were saying us to stay away from Turkish people, they was mad cool, and they showed me love. So that was my interaction with them.
How were they able to tell like y'all were from America? Y'all had y'all's soldier uniform?
I mean, in Germany, it's just the predominantly white, German. Oh. So when they see soldiers, like, they gonna know Americans, like, just based off how we look, just how we carry ourselves, the way we dress. We don't speak the language, so they can spot us like nothing. Yeah.
Was there? I mean, I'm guessing like there. It wasn't as bad, but your paranoia wasn't as high, right? With everything going on, or was it?
My paranoia kicked in for me when we got to Kuwait. That's when reality set in, like, oh, we're really here. We just landed in the desert, and I see a bunch of people with towels on their head, and they look like
Turbans, right?
Turbans.
Yeah.
So, and during that time, in the climate we was in, when 9/11 happens and we're going to war, everybody with a turban to me is a terrorist, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though that's not true.
Yeah.
But when I got off that plane in Kuwait, I was nervous when I seen them like in pickup trucks and driving around. I'm like, oh, okay, this is real. We're really here, and and you know, the fact that I already knew people that died from my old company in Colorado. I'm like, you know, this is real. This is not a game. So yeah, I was nervous, but like I said, we signed the dotted line, and we was gonna go there regardless and do what we have to do.
So after you guys completed, you know, your mission there or your duties in Germany, how was that move from, you know, getting that call to picking up and, hey, you know what, it's time to go. We got that call. It's time to put that work in with the rest of them. How was that like? And you know, I know you touched a little bit about, you know, how it felt, you know, but paint us a picture as far as getting to day one.
Okay, I got you. So pretty much I was still me. So just me being in the Army, I was still acting like myself. I wasn't brainwashed. I always followed orders, but I will always do things my way too. So,
and I know sorry to cut you off, but I know one thing that was very important to you that you said from the beginning was rapping. One of the biggest things you know that you love doing, right?
Yes. And so we ended up doing 5 hip hop shows in Iraq, like literally. We had this program called Fruity Loops on the laptop where we burned the CDs. We made like a little makeshift studio, and we was burning CDs, making CDs, and was selling them on the base in Iraq. And the commanders was telling us we can't sell our CDs in Iraq. Like we wasn't supposed to be doing that, but we did it anyway. And then we convinced the same commanders that were telling us we couldn't sell the CDs to let us do hip hop shows so we could boost morale for the other soldiers. And they said, well, if you could do one show and it works out, we'll see about the next one. And it worked out. We ended up doing 5 shows during the holidays, and everybody attended. Like a lot of people came. It boosted morale. Even people that didn't even like rap was there because that was the only entertainment we had, except, you know, when celebrities come out and visit. But it's not the same when you're getting it from your own people.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
How many of y'all was it?
I mean, as a family, there was probably like over 100 of us.
No. I'm saying doing the rap.
Doing the rap, it was about 8 of us.
Oh, okay.
8 of us. And it's even how I got involved with these people and joined the group was, so I had a friend that was affiliate to one of the kids that was rapping, one of the main kids rapping that everybody talked about. He was doing, he was rapping in Iraq, and there was a group called Hustle Man. And I always wanted to be down with the group because they was the most popular people rapping at the time. And I felt like, can't nobody be better than me in rapping. I'm from the East Coast, and there's a bunch of kids from down south, and who do I need to talk to get in the group? So one of my friends that was in another company had introduced me to the main person in the group. So I asked him, what's the criteria to get in the group? He tells me, can you rap? I said, yeah. And they said, okay, then you in. I was like, well, you gonna take my word for it that I could rap? I was like, nah, who do I gotta battle to get in the group? That's the only way I'm gonna join your group. So they looked at me like, okay. And I was like, I'll battle anybody. I'll battle all y'all. So they were like, well, just battle the best person. So I asked my friend, I said, hey, where's this kid from that I'm about to battle? He says, Atlanta, Georgia. Bro, I'm from up north.
Yeah,
I'm about to smoke him. This is what I'm thinking. Like, they snapping fingers, they dancing, and they, you know, when they rap. So,
yeah.
He said it's light work.
it's light work. But fast forward 7 rounds later, I'm like, damn, this kid is good. That's when I realized, like, it doesn't matter where you're from. People could rap from everywhere. Yeah. So if you ask me, I won that battle. If you ask him, he won that battle. But in hindsight, it was a tie because it's preference at that point. We went 7 rounds, and everybody was judging it like we don't know who's the winner. So if anybody asks me, Jace Cook, I'm going to tell you I'm the winner. But nah, I'll chalk it off as a tie. But that's how I got introduced and involved with these guys and joined the group. And then we just made CDs and did things like that out there.
And in rap battles, like y'all just keep going for however many rounds y'all can, or do y'all, is there like, okay, it's only 7 rounds, see who does the best?
Nah, I mean, back then it was more so freestyling and not like right in modern day battle rap. They actually write the lyrics down, prepare for it, and they have rounds set up. So it might be 3 rounds, 2 minutes each, things like that. But back then it was more so you're freestyling. You didn't write things down on paper, and then you go as many rounds until the next person can't rap no more. So pretty much, but we both was going 7 rounds. Like we was just like, all right, it's gonna be a standstill. We're gonna keep rapping all day.
Yeah.
I know the freestyle and rap, like you need to have like a wide vocabulary.
Oh
right?
yeah. You got to really study that dictionary, man. Because at least I feel like it, right?
You do, but everything comes off the top of your head. So depending
Bring
on
out
how
the thesaurus, man.
Now a lot of people do that, but depending on how good your vocabulary is that can make you better. I mean, so people did look into the dictionary and the thesaurus and get words and stuff like that to just be able to do it.
Man, so now that we've heard that, you know, rapping was a key thing in your military life, going back to day one, arrival day, how was that like, and what was your thoughts? What was going through your head?
All right, so I want to bring it back to even before I even got into boot camp, because I feel like that's important as far as my story goes. So like I told you, I was like the slacker kid in high school, the class clown, the kid that always wanted to rap and stuff like that. I wasn't a tough guy, but I was just a guy that was pretty much popular. Everybody knew me. And what I used to do was I used to bring a boombox, which is a radio with a cassette player. And I used to bring that to school. My mom used to tell me, don't bring that radio to school. Why are you bringing a radio to school, right? I'm like, Mom, I rap for my friends and during my break time, stuff like that. And I used to have to sneak the radio to school, and the security used to confiscate my radio and all that stuff. So when I'm getting ready to join the military, people telling me I'm going to be brainwashed, I'm telling them I'm not. So I'm thinking I'm going to bring my radio to boot camp, right? Who is bringing a radio to boot camp?
Man.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And let me correct this, because the Marines call it boot camp. The Army calls it basic training. But for everybody, you know, we're going to say boot camp so you understand what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
But so the whole thing was me not getting brainwashed and just me just going into the military, get college money, right? So I tell my mom, hey, Mom, before I go on, I want to bring my radio. My mom's like, you're not bringing that radio to no boot camp, right? So I sneak the radio on my luggage, and then I fly out to South Carolina to where we get picked up to go to boot camp, right? Bro, I'm in the airport, ignorant, blasting Wu-Tang. I don't even know if you guys heard of them. Y'all a little bit younger than me.
Yeah, I know Wu-Tang.
Airport security telling me to turn my music down. I'm trying to be hard, thinking I'm a rapper, right? The people that were bringing us to boot camp were calling me over, and they were like, oh, you got a radio? They about to chew you up in boot camp. So now I'm getting nervous. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to go to the military. Why is this dude even talking to me like this, right? Yeah. I started getting like butterflies in my stomach, right? So I tell him, hey, bro, I'm not even joining the military. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm here to visit family out here. So he apologized to me, and he kind of looked at me like, it looks like you're supposed to be here with us, because there's a bunch of young kids sitting over there. And I just walked off. I jumped on the payphone crying, telling my mom, I don't want to go no more. But my mom's like, why? What's going on? Like, you was all ready. We did a bunch of stuff before you got in. Like, why now that you're all the way in South Carolina, you finally graduated high school, and you don't want to go now? Bro, I tell my mom, because they won't let me take my radio. So now when I'm telling her this, she in the background, didn't I tell you not to bring that damn radio? So I'm like, bro, and I'm telling you, my dad he was like a drill sergeant himself. He was so strict. I was like, Mom, just don't tell Dad, and I'll go. I'll just bring the radio, and they'll take it. And so my mom tells me I love you, and, you know, she was upset that I brought the radio, but hey, the radio is here. I can't do nothing, and I'm not going to leave it at the airport. So now when I walk up back to the recruiter, he's looking at me like, oh, you is supposed to be with us, right? They're going to chew you up when you get to boot camp. I told you. I was like, yeah, but I'm getting my radio back. He's like, you might not get that radio back. So I'm like, all right. Now at this time, I'm nervous. I'm like, all right. Everybody's looking at me like the misfit kid. Like, why did you bring the radio? Nobody else did that but me. Yeah. So fast forward, we start boot camp. Well, a week before boot camp, you do what they call processing. Pretty much you're getting all your uniforms, you're getting your hygiene needs, things like that. They're teaching you how to march, just everything from scratch. Mm-hmm. And why I get in a fight within that week? Because there's a kid from Atlanta, mouth full of gold teeth, making noise in our formation. And anytime somebody makes noise, there's random people coming up to us, making us do push-ups. Pretty much they call it smoking you. Mm-hmm. So we're getting smoked because people are doing things like making noise in the formation. So one day we're in the chow line getting ready to get food, and this kid from Atlanta is making noise in the formation. So I say, hey, bro, man, shut up, because I'm not trying to get smoked. He looks at me, he said, man, fuck you, shawty. I'm from ATL, and we don't give a fuck about no Yankees. So I was like, oh, shit. I looked at him, and I saw his mouth full of gold teeth. I was like, well, bro, we don't wear gold teeth where I'm from. That was played out since '88. So people kind of chuckled in the formation, and this dude just steals on me.
Oh shit!
Knocks me on the ground. We just start fighting. Boom, 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 boom.
Were you guys in front of the sergeants or something like that, or
we was? So they broke it up fast, and I thought for sure this is gonna send me home. We getting kicked out. Boom, getting my radio back. I'm done. That's definitely not happening. They're not gonna waste all this money and time to sign you up to the military, where you're going to boot camp where they're supposed to change you to become a soldier. Mm-hmm. This is what it's meant for. So we're thinking we getting kicked out, but in reality, they're like, this is what we like, because when you go to boot camp, we're gonna whip this out of you. Yeah, if you think you're a thug, you think you're this, when you get to boot camp, the drill sergeant is gonna get it out of you. So what had happened was they made us clean up the whole base that day. Me and him, we ended up becoming friends because we were sitting there for like 12 hours cleaning.
You had no choice.
We had no choice. Ended up becoming best friends. And then, so fast forward, we're going to boot camp now. They put you on a bus. Everybody got to have their heads down. Like this. If you can hear me, right? We leave at like 3 a.m, so it's dark. You can't see nothing. I guess the idea is if you get there, you can't escape because you don't know where you went. Bro, as soon as we get off the bus, you got drill sergeants in your face yelling. Me, it didn't bother me because I'm like, can't nobody be worse than what my dad was, right? But there was other kids crying. Oh my gosh, I want to go home. And I'm sitting there at parade rest. Like, you have to stand like this. And I'm kind of smirking, right? Biggest mistake, bro. They caught me smirking. 6 big drill sergeants get in my face. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Where you think you from? You think you huff? You think you tough? You think you this? All in my face. So that smirk turned into like, oh man, I'm really gonna have to become a soldier. Now I'm doing push-ups. I'm listening to what they're telling me to do. And I'm like, all right, maybe I am gonna get brainwashed and be this soldier that everybody's talking about, right? Mm-hmm. But this is what happens. They're training us so much out there, right? That we're tired, we're not getting sleep. We're waking up at 4 a.m, we're going to bed at 9, but it's constant movement, right? And on Sundays is the rest day. You got 2 options. You could either go to church or you could stay in the barracks and clean up the barracks, right? And I didn't want to stay and clean up the barracks because I didn't feel like cleaning on my Sunday that I'm off. And they had a radio in there, but it was like a bullshit down south station that they wouldn't let us play hip hop on it. And I just didn't want to do that. So I would go to church, and I would go to church for 2 reasons. I would go to church to actually pray, and I would go to church to disguise sleep. So I'm in church acting like I'm praying, but I'm really sleeping, right? And now when a drill sergeant comes up to me, he's like, hey, you need to wake up. I'm like, hey, drill sergeant, I'm praying. Who's going to mess with somebody that's praying? Yeah. So they let me continue praying, sleep. They would let me continue praying, but I'm sleeping. But then what brought me back to the barracks on Sundays is because when I went back to the barracks after church, I'm hearing that because I'm on Fort Jackson. So there's females that are taking basic training too. We're separated from them, but during that time on Sunday, you have idle time to be around them. Like when we're all cleaning the barracks. So I'm hearing that they're down there getting their flirt time with the females. So I'm like, oh, that's why y'all haven't been going to church on Sunday. So now I'm like, I want to go to the barracks instead of going to church, right? I end up in the barracks. We're cleaning the barracks. I'm flirting with some of the girls, but you can't do nothing because drill sergeants could walk in at any time.
Yeah.
And if they caught you, that's called fraternizing. You could get written up for that. So you wasn't going to be able to do anything, but you was able to flirt. And, we're around a bunch of men all day,
Yeah.
So this is what happens. I'm like, yo, why are we listening to this radio? Like, then I'm thinking, oh, my radio's in here somewhere. Bro, I find my radio, disguise it as the radio they have, and then I write a letter to my boy and tell him, hey, man, I got my radio on here. I only got one mixtape that I brought. Send me some mixtapes. So now he's mailing me mixtapes, and now I'm pretty much the barracks DJ in boot camp. So now I'm like, all right, I can still do this army thing, become a soldier, but I could still be hip hop and rap still. So I recruited a little crew. I had a kid from Chicago, a kid from Florida, and a kid from Jersey. That was like our group. I got the pictures down here. I can show you. And
we'll add them right here so everybody can see them.
But so pretty much every Sunday I'm in the barracks playing music, rapping with my friends, and we made it through boot camp. And then, fast forward, went to Colorado and went to Germany, and then Iraq.
Man.
Yeah.
So you had a lot going on, man, on your young years or early years of or the introduction to the military, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, so like Hector said, you mentioned rap a lot. Like, you didn't have any like dreams of becoming like a rapper and shit, or what?
Of course. Like, I'll put it to you like this. When we run, we do what they call a cadence, right? Mm-hmm. And they had this cadence. It was it goes, I want to be an airborne ranger, right? Uh-huh. And when I would do the cadence, I would always get in trouble because I'll be like, I want to be an East Coast rapper. And then the people would chant it with me. And then the drill sergeants were like, hey, that's not the cadence. You need, and make me do push-ups in the middle of the workout. But they love me because I always did what I was told, but I was always that guy that's going to joke and do things like that. So even though they smoked me, I think everybody took a liking to me because I was never the person to complain. I always did what I was told, and I always did everything
with a little twist
that they asked. Exactly.
Nice.
That's funny.
Man.
But you didn't have like a plan like to become like a rapper or nothing? Like, it was just like, oh, it would be dope to be one?
Nah. We definitely had a plan. So fast forward in Iraq, after we did the hip hop shows out there, we get out of Iraq, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you heard of this guy. His name is Braun. He's Justin Bieber's manager. I think he even managed Taylor Swift and a whole bunch of artists. Usher, Ludacris. He's a
damn.
Yeah. And I graduated high school with this guy. So, and I know this guy, and I called him, and at this time he's dealing with Usher and Ludacris, and I said, hey man, my friends rap. We're in the military. The main person that raps, he's from Atlanta. His name is Jace Cook. I have a CD right here. I can show y'all.
Let's see.
Nice.
Oh, that he was in the military with you?
He was in the military with me.
Dang.
And so this kid Scooter, I know him as Scott Braun. I know him by his name. He gets on the phone with me, and I get a 3-way call with him and my friend Jace Cook, and he basically said, I'm not really interested in doing hip hop anymore. I'm working on doing R&B. And that's when he was discovering Justin Bieber. So I'm like, man, you gonna deal with the white boy, man? I'm a rapper, man. I'm about to, but I respected it. And he was like, but send me some of your music and I'll give it a listen. So I was cool with that. Just for him to even pick up the phone when he's dealing with these people that are already celebrities. Yeah. I'm like, hey man, anything. So we sent the music over, and he was like, hey, why y'all rapping about the hood and ghetto shit when y'all are literally was at war? You should be rapping about the war. And at the time, I was thinking like, yeah, maybe he's right. But my friend was like, nah, we don't want to rap about that. And the reason why was because we didn't want to relive what we were actually doing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why would we want to make a song about war, which probably would have worked, but if
at
you're actually doing it, you don't want to rap about it. Right. So we was rapping about how we grew up and things like that. And so we never ever, made that connection with him. But shouts out to Scott Braun for even picking up the phone and having that conversation, letting us give him our music and him for listen to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my friend, after that, I just stopped rapping. I didn't want to rap no more. I was getting a little bit older. I didn't think it was going to be a thing for me. And my friends continued, but you know, it's not easy to get in a rap game. You know what I'm saying? And so they still been working, and they still continue to work and make music. But
To this day?
yeah, till this day.
Oh, damn.
So I would say for them right now, it's a hobby, and if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. But they're into other things, movies and different things of that nature. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Nice.
that's pretty much that.
So day one going to Iraq, how was that like?
Bro,
And how did that lead into continuing your rapping
all right, so
hobby?
that right there is a story in itself. So like I told you, I was always like the class clown in high school. I was always, you know, disobeying rules and stuff like that. So my job in the military was I did supply, right? I would supply the whole unit with weapons, sensitive items, MVG goggles, just everything that you need. I gotta order it for you, right? So I worked in a motor pool. Pretty much that's like where all the mechanics, you know, fix the trucks and stuff like that. And my job when I was working in supply was to make the licenses for all the vehicles that were going into Iraq. So what I have here is a license that I made for myself, where I was qualified for pretty much everything.
Oh,
So I could drive a tank. I can't drive a tank. I could drive a commercial truck. I could drive a 5-ton, which I could drive, and I could drive a Humvee, which is a Hummer. And since I worked in supply and I supplied the whole unit, I worked right beside the commander. So my commander, his name is Captain Munoz, Mexican guy. I was supposed to be going into Iraq with him, and I'm supposed to be driving him in a Hummer with a 50 cal on top of it on a convoy. But something happened, and they needed somebody to drive a commercial supply truck. So pretty much the trucks that you right now that you would need a CDL to drive. And they was looking for somebody with those qualifications. Now, mind you, I don't know how to drive the truck, and I don't want to drive the truck, especially going into Iraq, right? And my sergeant looks at my license and sees that I'm qualified to drive the truck. And he knows that I made this fake license. So now he's like, since you did that, I'm going to give you a crash course in Kuwait, and we're going to do it in a week. And you're going to learn how to drive the truck, and you got to drive that in Iraq versus driving your commander. So now I'm pissed, nervous, scared, everything. Like, I'm even saying, like, to the point where I'm about to refuse to do it.
But why did you do the license?
Yeah.
Just for the fuck of it, or?
Yo, I did it just for the fuck of it, like, like just to tell everybody I could drive this, drive that. I didn't think that it was gonna screw me over later, right? So yeah, I just did it. Like, I probably should have made another one with my real qualifications on and just kept that one for sure. But I'm glad I kept it, so you guys know I really actually did it. But
how did you get into that job when you got to Iraq?
all right, so I pretty much, before you go into the military, you got to pick what job you want to do. Okay. So you take the ASVAB test, and depending on how you score, depending on what job you could get. So I never wanted to be the guy that does infantry. And shouts out to them because, you know, those are the frontliners. But I always said I just want to join the Army for college money. I don't want to go to war. There wasn't no war happening at the time. So pretty much before I joined, I just wanted to be supply because I knew that was a job that probably you're not going to be on the front lines or anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how I got the job.
Nice.
Do you speak to anybody nowadays from your military friends?
Yeah, because luckily we were, when I was in towards the end of my military career, MySpace was out. So you was able to have contacts with these people, and then Facebook comes, and then now I'm able to keep in contact with them through Facebook. So pretty much most of the people that I was in Germany with, I still have contact with. And I actually was in Florida 2 weeks ago with one of my friends, that the kid that I showed you on the CD.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so we definitely have contacts to these people, and it's cool because since you're in the military, you meet people from every state. So when I'm traveling to different states, I have like people I can see, and so that's why when you see me in places, I'm always with somebody. It's because I might know them from the military, or I just know people.
I've been seeing when you post on your stories, I'm like, oh, that boy Jerry take everybody with him, but I guess it's people that you know from those states.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, that's awesome. Especially that you guys keep in contact and stuff like that. That's awesome.
So I haven't seen you in a minute, but when I saw you, I was like, man, you lost a lot of weight. Like, what? Run us through that, bro. How that shit went down.
All right. First and foremost, everybody, I am not sick. So for the people,
He said, let me just clear that up.
nah, because a lot of people see me and I lost a lot of weight fast. So when you see somebody who was 280 pounds and then 4 months later to 210 pounds, that's a big difference in a short amount of time. But you know, people could have thought I was on drugs. People could have thought I had a disease and lost a lot of weight. And I'm like, nah, this was hard work. It was a lifestyle change. And I've been up and down this road a lot. So I've always been fluctuating in weight. And I would say this is the most that I've ever been consistent. But I would say the reason why is because I made a lifestyle change. I quit drinking alcohol. I started eating differently. I started to drink a lot of water. And I stopped telling myself I'm going on this diet, if that makes sense. Every time I went on a diet, I always broke that diet. So I said, you know what? Instead of telling people I'm going to go on a diet or telling myself I'm going to go on a diet, I'm just going to do the diet.
Yeah.
And just not say nothing, just live that lifestyle. So I gave up chips, candy, like
Pretty much everything that we got on that table right there. Right?
all the goodies.
and don't get it twisted. Every now and again, I'll have like a dessert or something like that, but it's in moderation, and it's not like recklessly eating cake every day or eating ice cream every day. Like, no, that's a once in a blue moon thing, or, you know, but I would say for me, it's lifestyle change. Like, you have to do this every day. Yeah. Like, I go to the gym every day. Even when I'm traveling in other states, my gym is a chain gym, and I go to the gym in other states. I do cold plunges. It's just a lot when it comes to changing your lifestyle.
Yeah, because when's the last time I saw you? Probably like 4 months ago, right? Give or take. And you still looked a little heavy set,
bro. I was 276 pounds.
And now when I saw you today, I was like, yo, like, bro, that was different, bro. I was like, I was not expecting you to you know.
To be honest with you, you two inspired me. Like, when I was at 276 pounds, we doing WAS together. You know, we had the pull-up gang, me, you, An. We doing the push-ups every day.
Hey, shout out to my boy An.
Right? Yeah. Shouts out to An, man. And you, like, every day after the workout, I would try to sneak out real quick because I'm like, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hector's about to make us do these 75 push-ups, right?
I see you walking out with like, Jared.
Hey, where you going, bro? Where you going?
And then sometimes it'd be somebody's birthday and then we have to do burpees too. And it's like, oh, man. But nah, that inspired me to keep working hard. And then you, Eddie, like, when you told me you didn't drink, I'm like, for your age, you don't drink? Yeah. That's amazing. I admired that, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, maybe I should stop drinking, and I quit drinking. And then I realized, like, drinking is just poison. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, you know, people could drink socially, but I'm not that person. You know, I'm the person that has to get drunk.
Yeah.
And don't know my limit. And I'm not an angry drunk, but I'm the type to pass out. And I'm going to still go to the gym, but I'm less active in the gym when I'm drinking, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then when drinking, it comes with a lot of bad habits. So when you get drunk, you're not going to eat a salad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're going to get Whataburger in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And
which sounds better. Good.
So for me, I could do all this, drink alcohol, eat Whataburger, and work out every day, but I'm going to stay at the same weight. Mm-hmm. So you see me in the WAS, I'm working out hard, but I'm never losing weight. But once I made that lifestyle change, that's when the weight started dropping. So now it's like, I can't eat Whataburger, bro. I can't even put that in my system. It doesn't even, I'll throw it up probably because I don't eat like that anymore. Dang. Yeah.
I remember I went like I know you don't like saying it, but like on a diet for like 2 months and I was eating good. And then I don't know what it was, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna eat something good. And I forgot what I got.
Papusas?
Yeah, nah.
Because those are good. Hey, and I'll still eat that.
Bro, all it takes is just one bad meal, bro, and you fall off. It just becomes so easy, right?
No, but not even that. Like you said, I ate it and I felt like throwing up so bad, bro. And it was something that I would eat almost like, you know,
Every
pretty
day,
often.
yeah.
So whenever I ate that, I was like, shit, I feel like throwing up.
And I would say this, like, I still eat good. Like, I'll eat tacos, but they're grilled chicken tacos. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'll eat papusas. Like,
For real?
I still, yeah, like I could still eat those things, but
But like back then, you would eat like what, 4 or 5 maybe, or what?
10 papusas back then, bro. Like drunk? You kidding me? And the ones that Jocelyn's mom made?
Hey, those are
Man.
good too, bro. Those are good. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but now I'm probably going to have 2 papusas and I'll be full. Because I think I shrunk my stomach because I just don't eat crazy like that. I don't binge eat or nothing like that. So yeah, I could still eat. Like, and people get that confused. They think that if you made a lifestyle change and you're eating healthy means you can't eat. Like, there's nothing wrong with eating 2 papusas on a Friday night. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But once you start eating 10 papusas and drinking,
That's a problem.
that's a
Yeah.
problem.
Wait, but so do you like track your calories or you just like, okay, I'm gonna just, instead of 10, I'm gonna eat 2?
None of that. I never tracked no calories. The only calorie thing I ever tracked was if I ordered meals from Fit to Fuel with Roxy and them.
Oh yeah.
And you know they get your what's it called, the your macros. I don't know nothing about macros, but I put in the order. She brings us the food, and that's pretty much the calorie counting I did.
Right.
And shouts out to Roxy
Yeah,
because
yeah. Shout out to Fit to Fuel.
Fit to Fuel because that helped me with my weight loss journey too. The times where I could buy her meals, I was eating like that, and she got a lot of healthy meals. So
And they're good.
Yeah,
too.
they're good.
if you stay in the Houston area,
Yep.
check out Fit to Fuel. It's an amazing meal prep company, and they'll get you right. They'll get you on the right
yeah,
path.
for sure.
And a reasonable price too.
Yep.
It's like
Definitely.
Yeah, she'll definitely take care of you. She's really good people and they're awesome.
But for those of you that don't know, we met our boy Jared through CrossFit as well. Super cool dude, man.
Yep.
I can see his story.
And famous CrossFit Caveman. Shout out to CrossFit Caveman.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely, man. That's
He's made a
family
lot
right
of-
there.
Yep, 100%. Yep.
Question: would you ever move back to the East Coast?
Hell no.
No.
I would have a house over there as a base, like back and forth, because my son still lives over there. But as far as like that being home base and me living over there, nah. Just because the weather, it's snowing right now. It's expensive. It's cluttered. There's a million people there and small amount of space. You come to Houston, everything's bigger in Texas. Cost of living's good. Gas prices are low. Like, just a lot of things you could do. You can go to Austin, Dallas, and then if I want to go home, I just fly home. You know, you see me in New York all the time.
Yeah.
So for me to live like over there, nah, definitely not. I'm cool.
So I seen you brought like a lot of little certificates. You want to run us through what you have there?
Yeah. And I didn't bring these certificates to brag, but I never ever really just brag about myself, because anything I do, bro, I don't do it for recognition.
Yeah.
I just do it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So a lot of people.
from what I've known you, like you're real reserved. You know, you're low key. So
Yeah.
I feel it.
So I'm never the person that's gonna brag and say, "Oh, I did this, I got this degree," but I do have a bachelor's degree in behavioral science, and these are some of my accolades here. I can show you. Let's see, because a lot of these things have our social security on it.
Oh yeah.
And this is basically yeah, it has my social security.
So
Wait,
what?
go
Which
ahead.
one was that one?
It was a school that I attended in Fort Lee, Virginia, and that was basically the school to get our job. They was training us to my supply job.
Okay.
That was that certificate, and then
Okay.
this one is a combat lightsaber course that I took out there. So pretty much you do a course for 40 hours, and it kind of makes you into like a medic, if that makes sense. So you could do CPR, you could do things like assess a casualty if something happens out there. And we used to have this acronym that we used to use when if you had a casualty at war, and the acronym was really big breasts should frequently be handled, right? And what the acronym meant was if you came up on a casualty, really, you check for the responsiveness, right? And then really big, the other B is you check for their breathing. And then the other B, really big breast, you check for if they're bleeding. In this order, that's how you assess a casualty. Really big breast should, and then you check for shock. Frequently, you check for fractures. B, you check for burns, and handle, you check for the head injury. And that's how you assess a casualty. That's how you remember
Yo, that's
what order it takes to assess a casualty. And
that's tight.
that was a
That's
part
pretty
of our
cool.
course. We thought it was funny.
that's tight.
Yeah.
What's a piece of advice that you would give to a youngster trying to join the army or any type of service?
I would say definitely talk to your recruiter. I would never tell nobody not to go in the service because I don't regret going in the service. Because of the people I met, the memories that I have. But I would say I don't know. It's their choice, really. Yeah. Just talk to your recruiter and find out if it's something that you really want to do because you may have to go to war. You know what I'm saying? And I did, and that's basically it. I don't really. Anybody could talk to me and I can give them advice, but it's got to be their choice at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, falling back on Iraq, how were those days like? You know, and I guess,
Bro,
just go a little bit about a day to day. You know,
let me tell you how I even got into Iraq. So, since I made that fake license and I had to learn how to drive that commercial truck within a week before going.
you were at that time. You were still in Germany, right?
We're still in Germany,
Okay.
but we got shipped to Kuwait first because we go to Kuwait to invade from Kuwait. And so I'm in Kuwait and I got to drive this commercial truck. So now, since I got to drive this commercial truck, they pair me up with a sergeant that is in aviation. So he doesn't know anything about this truck. So I'm even more nervous because I'm not that confident driving the truck. I got to drive it through Iraq, and I got to be with somebody that's in charge of me that doesn't even know how to drive the truck. And on top of that, I think he's racist. It's a white guy. I'm not saying that white guys are racist, but this guy in particular, I'm thinking he's racist just by the way he acts and stuff like that. And I'm not going to say his name because that's not what I'm here for. But shouts out to him because even when we did get in Iraq, we're all family at the end of the day and we're all fighting the same person. So
Yeah.
he wasn't racist. We just didn't get along. And I understand that now. I'm not young anymore. So, but let me get back to what I was trying to tell y'all. So we're in this truck, right? We're on a convoy. We're driving.
A convoy of how many?
There got to be like 50 trucks, 5 tons, Humvees with 50 cal mounts, people in 5 tons with M16s out pulling security, and all of us going to Baghdad.
Excuse
Right.
my ignorance. What's convoy?
Like a bunch of cars, a bunch of trucks, and
Oh,
everything
okay,
following
okay.
each other.
Yeah.
Oh, 50?
Damn.
Imagine.
Oh shit.
Maybe more, and some other convoys, right? So
And this is paint us a picture. It's nothing but sand, right? Dirt, hot or what?
it's the desert.
Damn.
And it's really hot, and we got to wear our full uniform with a flak vest with 210 rounds on us,
Damn.
with a Kevlar, which is the helmet, with our M16, and we had to dress like that every day. We could not take this off. This only time you could take it off was when you're in a bunker. That's the only time you could take it off. But
Do
they
you know
say
how much it weighs, the whole outfit? Would they tell you or not?
so. You know the vest that we used to work out in?
Yeah.
Probably 40 to 50 pound vest with all the bullets and everything on you. Maybe less, but definitely more than 20 pounds. But you're used to this at this point. Like, it's just a part of your body at this point because we wear it every day.
Yeah.
But where was I at?
So you were in a convoy
All right, we're in the convoy,
in the
right?
desert.
in the desert, going from Kuwait into Iraq. Bro, 10 miles in the convoy, why my truck breaks down?
Oh, damn.
So I'm like, all right, I'm not nervous. They're going to get the truck back ready. Maybe we're going to have to go back to Kuwait. But they're telling us, hey, we can't stay here with y'all because we might get ambushed if we stay here sitting and people wonder why the convoy stopped. So what they said was, we're going to keep going. There's another convoy coming back in an hour. You and Sergeant so-and-so pull guard until that next convoy comes.
So just you guys two?
Just us two.
Oh, damn.
So at this point, I'm like, something ain't right. Like, why are they going to leave us by ourselves? Like, we're in a whole other country. This is the country we're at war with. Yeah, they're saying this area of Iraq is pretty much safe, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hearing people are getting kidnapped. People, they're showing videos of people getting their heads chopped off, like literally. So I'm like, I don't feel comfortable, but they're like, my sergeant that's with me is like, hey, we got to listen to the orders. So I'm like, all right, it's only going to be an hour. The next convoy is going to pick us up and tow our truck. So the convoy leaves. Now it's just me, the sergeant, the truck, all these supplies, and we're broke down in the middle of Iraq, 10 miles away from Kuwait. So I'm like, hey, I tell the sergeant, I think we could drive back to Kuwait. Yeah, the tires might be on rims by the time we get there, but I think that's the best bet. He's telling me, no, we got to listen to the orders that they gave us. But I'm sitting there thinking like, bro, what if
You're exposed and
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, I gotta listen to my sergeant, I gotta listen to orders. And we sitting there pulling guard. About 20 minutes into it, a pickup truck pulls up with about 7 Iraqis in the back of it, turbans, speaking in their language. I'm thinking they might be trying to help us, but I don't know if they're trying to set us up. We've been hearing about people getting kidnapped. Bro, I jumped off the truck with my M16. I pointed dead at them. I tell them, if y'all don't leave, I'm going to kill y'all. I'm yelling this at them. They probably don't understand the language, but they understand that my M16 is pointing at them. They're not armed. They're in a pickup truck. They take off, right? Bro, when they take off, my heart is beating. I'm nervous, bro, because I'm thinking they're coming back. I just put a gun in their face. So now I'm telling the sergeant, like, we got to go back to Kuwait. He's telling me we got to listen to the orders of what they told us to do. Bro, I made an executive decision to get in that truck, and I told him, I said, bro, I'm going back. Either you coming or you not, but I'm leaving. He jumps in the truck. We take off. I know the way back to Kuwait. He's upset because I disobeyed his order, but I think about 5 miles into the ride, he thinks I made the right decision. And when I get back, I find out I did make the right decision because another commander was like, why did they leave you? They shouldn't have did that. You're not even that much trained to be out there by yourself. Like, yeah, I went through boot camp, but that's basic training. Like, I'm not an infantry guy. I'm not special forces or any of the Army Rangers.
You guys were freshly into that area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys didn't even have time to get known or, you know what I'm saying, acclimatized or anything, or you're aware of the hot zones. And
bro, my first time ever out there, 21, 22 at the most, my age, and they put me in that type of position. But so then the commander says, well, since that happened, we're gonna give you a choice. You can go on the next convoy, which would have been the convoy that was supposed to pick us up, or you could fly. I said, bro, after that, I want to fly. So what happens is they fly me to another base, and then I have to take a convoy to where I'm going. But I'm comfortable with that because now I don't have to drive that truck no more. They're probably going to put me in a Humvee or in somebody else's vehicle, and somebody else will be driving. Bro, the first night at that base is called Camp Anaconda. They put us in this place they call Tent City. So they have bunkers all over the base. They have a perimeter that we pull guard on, and then they have tents that the people that are just getting there stay in for that night, and then they get convoyed on to where they're really going. That first night, bro, I'm asleep. Boom! We hear mortar hit. Like, what's that? Alarm goes off. We're being attacked.
Oh, damn.
And that night, we probably got mortared like 30 times that night, where they're shooting mortars into our base. and they're landing in our base,
Inside?
inside the base. And I'm staying in the tent. So if that mortar hits the tent, you're dead. But we had people pulling guard, and we had this thing called QRF. That's a quick reaction force. So when things like that happen, they had people that go out there and go handle that for us. Mm-hmm. So it got to the point, bro, when you're out in Iraq, you get used to it. Like, we literally got used to it. Like, I'll be in a bunker sleep, and we'll hear them sending mortars into our fob, and we'll just be like, all right, when are they going to stop? When's the QRF going to go get them? And we were just numb to everything that was going on. You know, when you get used to your environment, it just becomes your daily.
Damn.
So if you want to ask me how our daily life out there in Iraq was, it's pretty much the same thing as when we were in the rear, but minus the PT. So we didn't have to work out there. We would just literally go to work, and I would order supplies, you know, for the infantry guys, the guys that were actually going into the cities and doing raids and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But the difference between this war and like wars from the past, like Vietnam, there's no real front line. I mean, you have a front line, the people that actually go into the house and do the raids, but the front line could be a convoy where people that I know got killed on the convoy, you know, by a roadside bomb. So you can't really say there's a front line. Anybody is at risk, if that makes sense.
Yeah. How did you go about knowing that, you know, before you got there, you know, some of your friends that went out and already lost their lives, how did you go about taking that in for yourself and saying, man, you know, I'm here now. That could be me.
Bro, I was the guy that at the time I didn't have no kids. I was still me. I'm always been a big jokester, so I'm still out there in Iraq cracking jokes, doing pranks, just trying to boost morale. Because even my sergeant one time had a breakdown, and he was talking about his kids, his family, how he was scared to go home. And at that time, I had to, you know, boost his morale and keep him from being nervous, because he's literally in charge of me, but he's crying, acting like he doesn't want to complete the mission. Mm-hmm. So I would do things like that out there. And like I said, I would still rap, just to keep my mind away from the war. And any chance I had to get a phone call from my friends, they would always remind me like, hey, bro, this is just a phase you're going through. Don't worry about it. Like, you're going to come home and things like that. So that's what kept me, you know, not nervous. And I always, you know, pray to God every night, you know. So that's how it was when I was out there. I was definitely nervous, but, you know, you get over the nervousness once you've been there so long, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What would you say was your most like traumatic experience?
The one I just told you, for me, that was it, because I really thought that we could be kidnapped, and I thought they was coming back. So, but let me say rest in peace to all the soldiers that did die out there, because a lot of them came with us and a lot of them didn't come back. And actually, a person out there that was very close to me had died, and it's crazy because the situation. So pretty much, when I was in Germany, my mom told me about this kid from Montana that she knew because her coworker knew the kid's mom, right? So she said she wanted me to meet this kid when I get to Germany. So I tell my mom, I don't really want to meet no new people. I already got my friends here and all this other stuff. But I just did it because my mom wanted me to, right? So in Germany, I meet this kid. His name is Owen Witt. Rest in peace. White boy, cowboy hat from Montana. We have nothing in common. Only thing we have in common is that our mothers know each other. So now I'm telling everybody around the base, that's my adopted brother, right? We end up getting cool. We build this relationship. He's in a different company. Bro, why is this kid in the same company as a dude that I grew up with from Queens, New York, right? His name is Edwin Rosales. Shouts out to him. When I was in Iraq and I was able to call my mom for the first time, she's like, hey, I'm sorry for your loss. I was like, what are you talking about? She said, you didn't hear about Owen? I was like, what about him? He said he passed away. I said, from what? And then when I went back to my company and asking people what happened to Owen, they said that he died. His Humvee got hit in a roadside bomb and the Humvee flipped. Why was the dude that I just named, Edwin Rosales, that I knew that I grew up with him when he died? Like, that's a crazy coincidence.
Yeah.
And fast forward, the guy that I'm rapping with also knew this guy that I grew up with. And that was just a crazy coincidence that just happened, you know what I'm saying? And it was just a lot of things happen out there, things that I don't even feel comfortable talking about.
Yeah.
But
what was it like? What, you know, taking that news? What was going through your head, and how did you get back on focus mode?
Bro, I'm upset. I'm questioning why am I even here? Why are we here? Why did this happen to my friend? I'm upset. I'm nervous. A whole bunch of emotions at the time, but at the same time, I still gotta be a soldier. We still out there. I still gotta come home. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm angry. I want to go kill somebody, but I wasn't reckless like that. But it was just a lot of emotions going when that happened, man. And
so something like that, you know, kind of fueled the hate for that, right?
definitely. There was times where I'm like, I didn't know about the military. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to go home. I'm upset. There's a lot of mixed emotions, and even now to this day, I'm questioning why were we over there, like literally. But at the end of the day, we signed that dotted line, and if something happens to the U.S. soil, we're going over there regardless.
Yeah.
So, ending your time, how was it like your last day in the army?
Bro, it was a freaking blessing. I was ready. I was done, man. I already did my time. I'm just ready to get out.
For real, you didn't have no part like damn, I'm gonna miss it.
Definitely, but not that much. And the reason why I did want to get out and not stay another 4 years is because I kept hearing that people were going back and forth to Iraq, and I didn't want to spend the rest of my military career going back and forth to war. So the people that actually stayed in it, I knew did like 3 or 4 tours. Yeah, and I wasn't trying to do that. So I was good when I got out. I was like, I did my time. I got out honorably, and pretty much.
How long were you over there in Iraq?
I was in Iraq for 13 months, to the point where they went over my 4-year contract and they extended me for another 6 months. So that's why I tell people I was in for 4.5 years, because I was only supposed to do 4. But since I was in Iraq, they extended my time. And then they ended up sending me a random check for like $2,500 saying that they broke my contract, so they had to pay me for that time. And that check came like 10 years later.
What?
Damn.
Yeah, things like that happen in the military. Like if they breach your contract, they have to send you the money. Like, they're definitely gonna do that. So, and it came at a good time because I was struggling with bills, in between jobs. So
Yeah.
it came at the right time.
So sorry.
When you left the army, that's when you came straight to Houston, or how long did it take you?
So I went back home, and then I was unemployed for 6 months. Ironically, I'm a veteran and can't get a job, right? So I went to one of my old football coaches, and he was saying you could work at a school. He had connections to that, and I was like, bro, I never worked with kids or did anything like that. And then he said, you have no experience with kids? I said, well, wait, I did work at the Boys and Girls Club where I'm from. Like, it's kind of like a camp. And that's the only experience I have. He was like, well, that's good enough. So he gets me an interview at an elementary school. I'm in the interview. They're telling me the job that I'm going to be doing is working with special needs kids, right? So the special needs kid that they want me to work with has cerebral palsy.
What's that?
It's like whenever they're born, right? It's I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I know it has to do with not. I know there's different kinds, right? Where I think not all mentally there, and then physically as well. It could be, maybe. I mean, I could be wrong.
I don't want to say the wrong thing, but pretty much this kid's in a wheelchair, and I pretty much got to do most of everything for him. Like I got to change him, communicate with him. He wasn't verbal, but he can verbalize himself by using his hands and stuff like that. So I had to teach him using cards and stuff like that to make decisions for himself, and pretty much I'm his caretaker, if that makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. So. And he's 6 years old at the time, and he's in first grade. So in the interview for that job, they say at the end of the interview, they say, "Is there any questions that you have for us?" I say, "I want to see the student I'm working with, bro." I go in, I'm in my suit still because I'm dressed for an interview. I go see the kid I'm working with. Why is he having a tantrum as I'm going to see who I'm working with? So I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. This kid's in a wheelchair, wilding, having a tantrum, right? I see all the adults around him kind of like scared and telling me to back up. But I'm looking at him like, he's only in first grade. Like, why is everybody scared of him? Yeah. So I walked up to him. They're telling me, hey, no, not right now. You don't work here yet. I grabbed the kid. I picked him up. I threw him in the air. Caught him. He looked at me as he's having a tantrum, and he smiled. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this job. And everybody was just looking at me like what? And they just basically like, you're hired. Guess what this kid's name is? William Trump. Guess who his uncle is? Donald Trump.
What?
Yep.
For real?
Yep.
Wow.
And that's just a coincidence, but I literally worked with Donald Trump's nephew for like till he was like 12, and then I got transferred to another school and did other things. But that was my first job out of the military after being unemployed for 6 months. Working.
How was that transition like mentally?
It was tough because I was used to the military lifestyle, and having things like we didn't have to pay rent. You know what I'm saying? Food was free, but now I'm in an apartment. Now I got to pay rent. I got to really be an adult. Like, 'cause even the military, it changed me and made me a man, but we still had that luxury of not having to pay bills and stuff like that. Only bills that you created. Mm-hmm. So it was tough, but then I started transitioning back into the lifestyle of working and things like that. And then fast forward, I'm still working in the school system, working with kids and things like that.
Were you mentally prepared? Do you feel like working with kids after getting out of the military?
Yeah, because that's pretty much my passion, is always helping people, helping kids, always boosting morale. That's why even to this day, like even when I worked in a juvenile facility, I was always the guy that could always build that rapport with kids. I'm not going to reach every kid, but a lot of kids take my advice, and I have a good rapport with working with children.
How long would you do in that for?
Since 2005 till now, till this day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
how did you get into CrossFit, man?
So how I got into CrossFit, I'm in Texas, 2014. I joined this CrossFit called CrossFit Dulos. This is in Sugarland, and I love that gym. That gym ended up getting closed down because the owner moved, and then I was looking for another CrossFit gym because I got into it, and that's when I joined CrossFit Caveman. I don't remember the exact date. I could probably look it up on the app, but I don't remember the exact date I joined. But I think it was around maybe a month before you came. I want to say I was there before you, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you were, because I remember whenever I got there, I saw that they had that you were like the Athlete of the month.
Athlete of the month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember I saw the picture and I was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "I don't know." And then I saw you. I was like, "Oh shit, that's him."
And during that time, I was going to the gym twice, sometimes 3 times. I would do a WOD in the morning. I would do the 12 o'clock, and I would do the evening every day. And that's how I got Athlete of the Month. But I never was losing weight because I was still drinking, still eating wrong. But I was really working hard. But I never seen the results until I made that lifestyle change.
Damn. So you were in that other CrossFit for what, 5? No, way more. No.
I was there for like maybe 2 years. 2 years. But CrossFit it's a nonstop battle for me because I still struggle with some of the movements, but I've gotten a lot better over the years.
That one movement that you put on your Instagram story where you like do a turn and the ring rolls.
Yeah.
Man, I can't do that shit at all.
You definitely could do that, bro. You guys are doing muscle ups. I can't even do a muscle up. That right there is easy. It looks like it's hard, but if you actually get on there and do it, it's not hard.
I feel like my elbows will snap.
Nah, definitely not.
I will say this, that a lot of people who, first of all, who don't know about CrossFit could misinterpret it by saying it's something really difficult or not a lot of people could do it. And actually that's wrong. I feel like that used to be me. I feel like I was like, dude, I know about it, but I'm like, man, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Nah, I always tell people that want to do it or don't want to do it that it's for everybody.
Yeah.
There's levels. They're gonna teach you the movements, and pretty much like anybody could do it. But the only thing that I will say is people do say that you can get hurt doing CrossFit, but if you do the movements right, you won't get hurt doing CrossFit, if that makes sense. And if you stretch yourself and do like things like that.
And also baby steps. Don't expect to get in there doing what, the other people are doing.
Yeah, so when I first started CrossFit, I couldn't even do one pull-up at all. And then I just did, the other day, I did 15 pull-ups with the vest in a row. So, and that was a lot of my weight loss, because I was doing pull-ups with a vest when I was 270 pounds. So when you lose 50 pounds, that pull-up with the vest is very different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Were you intimidated, like, by any way, like, whenever you were first going to join the CrossFit?
Oh, definitely, because I was just thinking, I'm not a workout guy. When I was in the military, I did push-ups, sit-ups, and just a generic, basic workout, but I never lifted weights and actually did, like, CrossFit movements. So I was thinking, these people are going to look at me funny. It might be cliquey where people don't even want to work out with you if you're not able to do what they can do. But it definitely wasn't like that. It was a welcoming environment, and, people treated you like it wasn't like non-judgmental. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, after like a week of being there, I realized like this is what I want to do.
Yeah. Nice. How did CrossFit help you mentally, and how did that go about, you feel?
Well, it definitely helped me mentally because exercise in itself is like a stress reliever. So me doing CrossFit was like just a step in the direction of fitness that right now I still do CrossFit and I go to the gym on my own, and it's just a part of my lifestyle. So it's definitely just a stress reliever.
Yeah. And then I feel like community has a lot to do with it as well.
That too.
They're very big on community and family, like, so that's a huge thing.
And I met a lot of good people in CrossFit, people that I consider my family. Yeah.
Yep, 100%. That's
Definitely.
Yep.
What other hobbies do you have?
Travel, make money. That's it, really. I like to go out to, clubs, things like that, bars, just to be around people, concerts. I went skiing for the first time with An and Gabby and a few other people. That's really it. Pretty much everything else that people do.
You still freestyle?
Man, when I went to Florida, my boy was.
And be careful how you answer this, because if you say yeah, we're gonna have to hear.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put you on the spot.
I'll say it in Spanish. No. Nah. I don't rap no more. My friend, he wanted me to make a track with him when I was in Florida. We tried it. I told him I'm a little rusty, so I could still do it, but I'm not into that no more.
Yeah.
I'd rather coach a young person and show them how to do it. Yeah. I'd rather be a manager now than an actual rapper.
Nice.
Well, man, we appreciate you coming on, man. It means a lot. And your story is freaking dope, man. I like it.
I appreciate y'all having me. I like I said, even though y'all are younger than me, I still look up to y'all because I admire how y'all carry yourselves. Like you're a family man. This guy has a girlfriend. He doesn't drink. He's young. You know what I'm saying? And y'all just respectable men that I look up to y'all, even though y'all younger than me. Like I learned things from y'all, and like I really do appreciate y'all having me up here, just to be able to share my story.
We appreciate you taking the time to stop by, and allowing us and our followers to listen to your story, man.
Definitely. Can I say one last thing?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. I'm 42 years old. I'm a single man. Ladies, if you like a bald head man, I'm available. I'll play.
Nah, let them know. Let
them know.
Yeah, man. I'm single and ready to mingle.
Hey, anybody out there?
Yep.
Hit my boy Jared up. Be ready.
Hey, where can they follow you, man?
Instagram, it's DORMIR 2 and the letter G is dormir. In Spanish, that means sleep. That's what they used to call me when I was in the military because I was always asleep. So you can follow me on Instagram or you can follow me on Facebook. Jared Carey, JARRETT, and last name CAREY, just like Mariah Carey.
Nice. Well, there you guys have it. You heard it from the man himself. Appreciate everybody stopping by and waited till this very end, huh? We appreciate you guys.
Nah, thank you guys again for staying. If you stayed this long, we really appreciate it. If you could just follow my boy Jared and also subscribe to the channel. We're like one subscriber away, I think, to 100. So
wow,
I remember.
Amazing,
I think it was like the second or first episode that we said after the 100. After we get to the 100, we got to do that. That one chip challenge. Hey, we're.
But good thing my boy Jared's here, so we could hit the one chip with him.
the one chip challenge.
Yeah.
Oh
dang! We just hit it now. So hey, we want to say thank you everybody for who showed support. Honestly, we really appreciate it. This is only the beginning. Comment down below on any topics that you guys want us to talk about, and
hey, and if anybody's willing to come on, y'all could always like hit us up or in the comments or on our Instagrams, whatever. We'd love to have anybody in here.
Yep,
everybody got an interesting story, as y'all could just y'all just heard Jared's story.
So since y'all hit 100 subscribers, does that mean Jocelyn's mom's gonna make some papusas again?
We might have to tell
Yeah, we might.
Yeah, definitely invite me for that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's about it. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you guys. Peace.